Hi Cancer, welcome to your March 2023 Astrology Horoscope forecast. Welcome to my channel. I talk everything around astrology and tarot. For a personal consultation, you may write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. For those of you who want to know more about my work, you may visit my website, Tarot by Anisha. Cancerians, as promised, this is a big month with Saturn that is moving signs, with Pluto that is going to be shifting after almost 15 years. We have Mars that is going direct. And how this is going to be impacting you, your relationships, your money, your family, I'll be talking about that in detail. Do ensure that you listen to the video till about the end, as I'm going to be breaking it with slow moving planets and how it is that they will govern you and affect you. So on the 3rd, we have Mercury that is joining Neptune and Sun, and this is there in a part of your chart that speaks about long distance travel. It speaks about expanding your mind, deepening your spirituality. And there can be a lot of conversations wherein, for a lot of you, you would be wanting to expand your mind. This is the house of Jupiter, so you would want to deepen your knowledge. For in certain cases, it can also be that you would be traveling to different countries, you would be meeting with people, with clients from different cultures, different ethnicities. You would be understanding as to how it is that they work, and you would be adapting or adopting those into your own life as well. On the 7th, we have a full moon that is there in this house of, again, it is a house of communication, it is a house of sibling, and this is also the house of community, the area where you stay. And full moon, whenever it comes in aspects a certain part of our chart, it speaks about taking a good look at that area. So for you, it can be that, the community where you stay, there is a sense of not feeling arrived, but you're feeling more comfortable, you're feeling more grounded, you're feeling more at home, Cancerians. And also in certain cases, it speaks about maybe some negotiations are coming to an end, some conversations are coming to an end, and maybe you've finished pitching for a certain client, certain business, and you are, now is a time, or this is a month that you'll come to know exactly which direction it is going. Because this also speaks about communications at large, try and ensure that you are not leaving things unsaid, Cancerian. So if there are things that you cannot speak, that you cannot express, then try and put them nicely in your email or on your text. On the 8th, we have Saturn, and this is the biggie. It is moving into your house of long distance travel. This is the house of expanding your mind, spirituality, and Saturn is going to be here for the next 3 years. So first of all, this is nothing to freak out about and say that, oh my God, Saturn is going to be creating trouble. But Saturn over here is going to be deepening your, whether they are your interest, whether they are your own sense of values, ethics, wanting to know more, expand more. You're going to be on quite a learning curve, Cancerians. And for those of you wherein that, you do not want to shift your perspective, or you do not want to change your perspective and say, I have done enough and my way is the highway. Unfortunately, Saturn has this tendency to bring about people or even such situations and circumstances that teach us that we have to adapt and we have to change. In certain cases, it can be that, there is some amount of learning that maybe you need to upskill yourself. Maybe you need to learn a new technology, and that could seem like quite a chore because Saturn is a heavy, it's a teacher planet, and you could find it a bit of a chore over here. Also, it's a good time to be dealing with people who live in different countries, with foreigners, understanding as to how it is that they work. Your views also on life could be stabilizing during this point, Cancerians, and you also begin to understand the rules of life and you learn how to play more skillfully. Keep in mind also that this is also the house of law, so try and be a little careful where legalities are concerned. If certain legal work is required, try and ensure that you're on the right side or that you are taking care of your interest. However, because this is also the house of philosophy, try and ensure that you do not impose unnecessary limitations on yourself, Cancerians. Do not. Saturn tends to bring about limitations in our life. So on the other hand, you shouldn't sort of be a limiting factor in your own life. Try not to come in your own way, Cancerian. So either be too narrow-minded or be too fanatical or being too married to your own ideas. Give it room to flow. Stay flexible. Move. They can be in some amount of challenges as far as travel is concerned, as far as, it can be either publication of books, or it can also be some challenges around maybe being accepted in a university. On the 17th, we have Venus that moves into your house of groups of friends, and it is joining Uranus. So lovely aspect over here. Uranus, of course, is the wild boy of astrology, and Venus is going to be bringing about a lot of eccentric, unusual friends in your circle. People whom you maybe maybe a couple of years back you wouldn't have thought that you would be friends with, but this is the time that you would find yourself being friends with very quirky, different, eccentric people. And they are also going to be a time where it's almost a time of enlightenment, where you will be, these people will sort of show you not just the mirror, but show you a different perspective of life as well. Maybe you've just been used to looking at an A, a B, and a C, and maybe there is another fourth dimension which these unusual friends in your life will point out to, and it could be quite lovely. On the 20th, we have Mercury that moves into a part of your chart that is all about your career. It's about accolades. And on the 21st, we have Sun, and that's not enough. We then have a new moon that is there in a part of your career. So this is huge, Cancerians. Now, you will find yourself that you're having a lot of conversations regarding your work, your career, the direction that you want to take it to, and also about the direction that your life is taking. And you will find yourself reaching out to your mentors, to your peers, to people whom you consider as guides in your life, and you would be having a lot of these conversations about your goals, your work goals, your career goals, what it is that you want to accomplish, and where it is that you are, and where it is that you want to be, and what it is that you're trying to establish for yourself. And it's a time where you can think about the big picture, and try and be realistic over here, Cancerian. So a good time to be making long-term plans, but try not to get lost in the details. Try not to perfect everything, Cancerians. It's a time to be implementing things. So of course, you need to be sifting through whatever it is that you're working with, but also you need to be focusing on ensuring that you implement and you start sort of running with it, not just leave it in the ideating mode. Also, for those of you who are in the work of communication, whether you're a writer or you work with technology, it's a fabulous time for you. It's a time where you could have an extremely important conversation, either with an authority figure or with a mentor, or anybody whose opinion you really value. On the 24th, that is the movement of the decade, Pluto is going to be moving into your house of joint finances, resources, sexuality, and transformation. And initially, it'll just move for 3 months. It's just going to be quickly getting in, giving you a peek, giving you a little taste of what is going to come. It will roll back before it will sort of move in for the next 20 years. And I've spoken about this in great detail in my annual 2023 video, so you may go over there and talk about it. I'm not going to be going in deep detail over the Pluto transit over here, but I will give you a gist of what is it that you can expect. Now, Pluto over here speaks about a completely new life, which is literally born out of the old. It's almost like shedding off a skin, and you're emerging of your own. And it speaks about death and regeneration of the ego. It speaks about outdated aspects of your life. It speaks about how certain things you need to release, Cancerians, if you need to be letting the newer you emerge. And you are going to be feeling scared, you are going to be feeling vulnerable, and there's going to be this sense of, will I be accepted, and, having a lot of self-doubt. But in order for you to be embracing what it is that lies ahead, and for the next 20 years, you're pretty much sort of putting a foundation stone now. You need to be brave. And even if you feel a little foolish, it's quite all right. Cancerians. Pluto does not generally signify a literal or an actual death in most cases, but it can be that, it at times it can be almost like a death of a self, that you're moving into a second phase of your life. You're like completely letting go of that life that you had. So if you were in the corporate, that you completely left it and you moved on to the esoteric part. You started doing astrology, you started doing tarot. So it's literally letting go of one part of your life. It's moving into and embracing the newer part of your life. And in some cases, try and be careful as far as your joint finances are concerned, because Pluto also affects those. So joint finances, resources, possessions, you need to be a little careful about, and also try not to get into a debt, I think, for the next, and that's 20 years. So do not gamble, do not do foolish things, Cancerians, especially where things are not in your control. Try not to give too much control to the other persons. And it's in certain cases, it can be that, again, if Pluto is really not aspected well with the rest of the planets, it can cause natural disruptions around. It speaks about earthquakes, it speaks about tsunamis, and political or economic or even military scenarios which are absolutely beyond your control. But like I said, that really depends upon your own personal chart. On the 26th, we have Mars that is moving into your own house, and fabulous time to be asserting yourself, Cancerians, putting it down, what it is that you want out of yourself, where it is that you see your goal, your mission, how it is that you want to present yourself to the world, how it is that you want to be perceived. Time to be putting your best foot out, Cancerians, and be prepared. It's not a time, self-doubt, fine, I can understand, but being prepared is something that it shouldn't catch you unaware. That is something, no matter how, even if you feel you're quite an expert, you still need to really be prepared for whatever it is that you're about to launch or do. And ensure that Mars being over there is makes you assertive. It doesn't make you aggressive. So there's a very fine line. So try and watch your tone. It's not often it's not what we are saying, Cancerians, it's how we are saying. So try and modulate your tone, try and modulate, even if you're not liking something, try and see how it is that you can put across in a more gentler way. Overall, a cracker of a month. It's starting you off on a completely new, exciting, I would say, a goal or a new phase of life, Cancerians. You just need to be having a lot of courage. You need to be being brave. Actually, you don't have much of a choice, because Pluto is over there. By hook or by crook, Pluto is going to be bringing you among situations wherein that, you will be forced to transform yourself bit by bit, but all in a good way. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Cancerians. I'll see you again soon, and thank you so much for watching.